Hello, my name's Mark.
And I'm Tom.
And we are here having a little look at Far Cry New Dawn. I was invited to play a preview build of this last week in London.
Very fancy.
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from Far Cry 5.
That is not surprising.
Is the takeaway. It's built in the same map.
Okay.
You play one of this guy that we're looking at here is generals. Sorry, his commander, colonel, captain, I don't know, captain, that's the one. And basically what you have to do is you've got to rebuild Hope County after the ending of Far Cry 5, like nuclear bombs dropped.
Oh, yeah.
It's now 17 years in the future.
17 years?
Yeah, 17 years in the future. Right. So society has kind of begun to come out of it went underground, it's starting to come back now. Okay. And it's up to you to rebuild from your home base, which is Prosperity, which is where we are right now.
One thing I noticed there, you have a choice of male or female.
Yeah. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. As you would imagine, you only ever really see your hands anyway. Although a little bit later on, there are some full customization options. At the minute, we're just looking at some of the weapons that you can have. So you can have an elite shovel. I don't know why you would ever need an elite shovel, but you can have one.
So these different levels of weapons that you will unlock throughout the game, I suppose.
Yeah, as you level up. So basically, it's a new kind of new concept in that it's an RPG light situation.
Right.
In that you will have every weapon has a level, every enemy has a level, and you've got your normal skill trees and what have you. You can also pet dogs, which is the main takeaway from
That
this.
is the most important thing I've seen so far.
I kind of get snarled up here petting dogs. But yeah, so you have levels. You unlock the levels. Each level of weapon is obviously more enhanced than the other one. You have to scavenge for items to be able to craft the weapons.
Okay.
If you've played a Far Cry game, if you've ever played like a game like this, you know what to expect. It is a Far Cry game.
Oh god.
And because it's a Far Cry game, you can also get by snakes.
Amazing. That's lovely.
Yeah. This was literally seconds after I've left the main base here, and I've already been bitten by a snake.
I'm loving the leftover components of life. It's amazing to see. It's actually a stunning game.
Yeah, it does look really good. Obviously, it's a Ubisoft title, so you expect that kind of thing from them. But I mean, this was a terrible idea from the get-go. Here we go. Making sure I've got an exit strategy. Kind of already figured that this bison isn't going to be friendly, and I'm not powerful enough to kill it.
So is this sort of like the legendary legendaries in what's in Red Dead Redemption 2?
Well, kind of. I mean, kind of not really. Like I said, enemies have levels now.
Okay.
So you can see that this bison or water buffalo, whatever it is, I'm not up to date on the.
He has it in for you.
Yes, but he's also an elite enemy. Which means that he's obviously very powerful. You shouldn't be taking him on straight out the gate like I just stupidly have tried to. But like you said, yeah, there are a lot of places that you might remember from the first map. It is essentially the same map as before.
But it's overgrown.
Yeah, I mean it's. The way I was thinking of it is it's a little bit like a. You remember when Far Cry Primal came out?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a full Far Cry release. It was sort of a step between. This feels somewhat of a step between because you still have the same map, the same sort of assets, just decayed a little.
But with more RPG elements tacked on top as well.
That's it, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, these enemies are like a lot easier than that bison there. They're level 1 enemies, but that guy who had the shield will actually... They rush you with the shield, so you have to try and either shoot them in the feet or run away from them and hope that they don't bash you, because if they bash you, they'll knock you down, and then, if they've got friends around, that's kind of you.
So who are they? What's their purpose?
Right, so these, the bad guys in this game are called the Highwaymen.
Okay.
And they are led by two twins called Mickey and Lou, I believe. And basically,
are they the two from the trailer?
Yeah, they're the twins. They're the sort of the main protagonists of the game. I don't think
you need to learn to drive better. Just a heads up on that one.
Listen. I think I do a flip in a minute, and it's a pretty good flip. Here we go. Right?
Well. It is later. I highlighted this, and I may just get all your highlights in, especially this scene, which is peak you.
This is peak Far Cry. I thought that I could jump. I thought that I could make that. Apparently, no.
You spent way too long trying to cling for life on this, and I had to cut it down.
Yeah. Well,
no one was going to help you.
If anything, I'm a fighter, Tom. So
that is nothing but true.
Yeah. Anyway, so Highwaymen. Yes. These guys are basically the bad guys. They roam around, sort of striking settlements, being general.
I love that weapon.
It's a good gun. I should have used it more, to be fair. but I was more inclined to use the submachine guns and what have you. But yeah, so basically they roam around. They're general bad eggs. If you see them, try and kill them, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they are all over the country, and it just so happens that they're in Hope County. So the guy that we were talking to at the beginning, the general idea of the game is that he is re-establishing civilization from the west coast of America across the east coast, and he was driving a train. That train came through Hope County, but was derailed by the highwaymen, I think. And you now are stuck in Hope County, and you've got to, sort of rebuild American civilization from here.
So this all the bombs dropped across the entire of the US. Then this isn't just in Hope County. Then
no. This is I don't know if it's global. It's certainly American wide.
Oh, I want to say that I love this guy's website's name, or whatever his service is called, Wikibeania. It's
Wikibeania.
So good.
Bean is a character. I mean, again, Far Cry games are well known for their zany characters, and this is no exception. Every character that you meet has some stunning personality. I don't know if you get to him. There's a bit later on. I think it's this mission actually. I won't spoil it when we get to it, but there is a chase scene which is pretty hilarious.
I've kept some of it in. I had to delete some of it because it just overran for time.
Yeah, well, I'm still learning the controls. Like, don't hate me too much.
There were a few times where you duck and jump trying to learn the controls, and I was like, delete.
Yeah, well, look, it's not a preview event if you don't spend half of the time squatting and jumping and what have you.
Oh, that's the guy. This is him, isn't it?
Yeah, so this guy's in his pants and he bolts pretty quick.
That gun is so good.
It's a pretty good gun, eh? So yeah, he bolts pretty quick, and I thought, well, I can either chase him or else I can turn around and grab the motorbike, which I thought might be a bit quicker.
You catch up though.
Well, I'm in a motorbike.
Oh, is that your dog or is it just?
No. So okay, companions. There are companions again.
Oh, brilliant.
And Boomer sadly is dead.
17 years. It's been a long time for a dog.
Well,
also a nuke.
Also the nukes. Yeah. So Ubisoft confirmed that Boomer sadly is dead, but don't worry because there is another dog companion. This guy is called Timber.
Timber.
Or girl. I don't know.
Sounds like a big dog.
It's kind of husky-esque. I don't know dog breeds too well, but it's a big woofer.
Oh, your big flip is coming now.
Here we go. Right.
Wait.
Well, hey! I mean, land me a better flip than that in a Far Cry game. Jeez.
I mean, your next one's not that great.
Yeah. Well, I got one in. So anyway, yes, you do get. There are companions. I think I might use one of the companions later on in the build. But so you can get a dog, and there's also a warthog called, I think, Horatio.
Horatio the warthog.
Horatio the warthog. I could be wrong in the name.
Yeah.
I mean, why is this guy in his pants?
He's apparently gambled everything away. That's the whole thing, isn't it?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't a glitch in the game, by the way. That's me cutting down for the interest of time.
Yeah, actually, one of the things I don't know if I should say this. It surprised me how unglitchy this is.
That's amazing for a Ubisoft game, for a Far Cry game especially.
Yeah, I mean, you always expect some, and you take it, you take a little bit of it. But yeah, this is a very smooth looking game. I mean, obviously it looks great. Some of the stealth kills in this are brutal. Yeah. I don't know if you keep one in, but there's one where you stab someone in the armpit. Yes,
I did keep that in. You get to see that.
Yeah, that's gross. I mean, it's disturbing to watch.
I think this definitely has the benefit of working off a already established engine that worked pretty well to go off with. Anyway, there it is.
Yeah. Ooh.
What are you stabbing them with? Is it just a straight up?
It's a prison shank.
But yeah, that kind of benefit of an engine that already exists, so they're working with something that works to make something that's hopefully not going to glitch to hell.
Yeah, like I say, it feels like it's hard. It does feel like a full experience, obviously, but it is a step between a Far Cry mainline game. So, like you say, yeah, they have the benefit of already having something pretty established to work on.
Yeah, I mean the benefit. I mean, it's not a full mainline game just from the name straight up. It's New Dawn. It's like Primal. It's like Blood Dragon. It's clearly a mid-step.
Yeah, but I mean, I hasten to call it that because it is
also a great
full experience. You know what? It didn't let me take him down normally. I wasn't really. He died anyway.
But you alerted the other person.
Well,
and they died pretty easy too. So I'll forgive you on this.
This guy also cannot. Oh no, I was about to say he can't shoot at all, but then
you're licking you.
Yeah.
The cogs all over the game. This is interesting to me.
So, like I said, there's a lot of crafting with weapons. You can also upgrade your home base, however you know, there's like weapon stations and explosive stations and vehicle stations, and as you upgrade them, you'll have access to better weapons and, you know, better explosives and better what have you from your home base.
Okay, so is this kind of what like Far Cry 5 did, where you could go around and get different bases and kind of take over different locations? Or is it just the one home base that we've seen so far?
It's the one main home base. You can obviously, it being a Ubisoft Far Cry game, there are outposts that you can take over.
Of course.
And they will generate resources. I don't think I got much into it, but my belief is that you can take them over, you get resources from them, and you can like sort of use those resources as you go along. Like everybody is fighting over I think ethanol.
Yes, which a van drives past at one point. I may have cut that out for time, but there is definitely an ethanol van which you try and shoot.
Yeah, so ethanol is kind of like the new currency, I suppose. You know, it's used for obviously vehicles. Yeah. People need fuel for whatever you need. So these outposts, they will generate ethanol for you, but you can take some if you need some for like fuel or upgrades or whatever. But then they will kill an innocent person. Not a very good captain of the.
He could have been a villain.
I mean, maybe he was a tax dodger.
Possibly, I'd believe that.
Yeah, he could have been. I don't know.
But anyway, you've got Bean's business plan back, and you're now meeting him in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and I think I might have brought some wrath down on him because he's a bit squirrely, is our Bean.
I like his hat.
It's beanie.
Beanie. He's got a beanie. Wikibeania.
Wikibeania.
So what's his purpose in the game? Like, what you've obviously given his business plan back. Is he kind of a useful character now?
Well, yeah, yes and no. Like you have to go to these. You'll see later on these sort of various specialists that you can unlock, or that you have to go and do a mission for, and then you'll be able to. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to hunt them like normally, so I ran them over.
I don't blame you. That's the most fun way to do it.
Yeah. But it is a little bit like Red Dead Redemption. It is a little bit like Red Dead Redemption in that the pelts will get ruined, and you know they're not as useful to you.
So running them down on the road isn't going to leave you with the best quality pelt.
Exactly.
Tire track pelt.
Tire track pelt. Roadkill, I think it's called. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Also,
I love this.
Bang. Yes. But then obviously everything sets on fire, so not ideal.
I mean, that was a trait back in the day for Far Cry games in general. That's always been everything sets on fire.
Oh, man, I don't know if about you, but my standout memory of Far Cry games is burning the weed fields in Far Cry 3.
Yes.
Now that was... Oh, don't kill that.
Well, you're the one doing it.
I was about to say, don't kill the warthog, but yeah, I'm doing the killing there.
He killed that guy. The warthog deserved it.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't Horatio. Oh, it was a boar. Not a warthog, it's a boar.
That's fine.
Very
meat.
Very clear distinction needs to be made between those.
So these guys are just like the villains in Far Cry 5, and they are just everywhere on the roads.
Yeah. I mean, they wander around. They are just, like I said, general bad eggs. They're not good people. There are like you mentioned earlier, they have ethanol trucks that you can sort of commandeer and take back to your base to get a big bunch of ethanol. They also have prisoner trucks.
Yes, there's one of those later on as well. We've still got that kind of stuff coming up ahead.
Yes, so they do have prisoner trucks where you can, run them off the road and rescue the prisoners. God knows what they were going to do with them, but yeah, this is how. Far Cry is one of those games where you never think the combat is that difficult until suddenly you're overwhelmed, and it is. Yeah. You take it too lightly.
Things I've seen that you have the ability to pick up those shields. Can you do the same tricks that they can? Like,
I think at one point I might pick a shield up. Roadkill, why not? Yeah, you can pick the shields up and use them, but you can only use a pistol while you're using them.
Yeah.
And so here, okay, this is a supply drop.
Okay, yeah.
So these will appear, randomly across the map. Planes will fly over and drop them.
That's interesting for a single-player game to have that.
Well, it's not like it's not like a loot box. It's more like a just general supplies sort of. That guy's flying around there.
So is this one of the? This is one of the what they call the prisoner trucks. That you were
prisoner trucks,
about.
Yeah, and I think it gets away from me, or I might kill somebody by accident.
Gets away.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the supply drops, they come down, and you have to get to them quickly before the highwaymen do. Now they have like sort of yellow flares flying around them, so you'll be able to see them if they're close.
Okay. That's what was there earlier.
Yes. And if you loot them, then you get this.
You have a bad. What's going on with what's going on with the animals? Because they're all seemingly quite. Have they been radiated from the bombs?
You might say that they've been mutated a little. Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, I don't know any bears that look like that usually. I'm not a massive bear fan, but
I've noticed your big book of bears.
yeah, so I believe that's no.
But yeah, I've noticed that the bears later on are more susceptible to bullets than explosions.
Well, we'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, I think that the wildlife has obviously been exposed to the nuclear radiation fallout. I don't know, and they have started to become a little bit more
aggro.
Yeah,
Is that a good word?
That's a good shit. Yeah, that's a good word.
This game is very pink, by the way. The colours are so vivid.
Well, it's very neon.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it's a tough one. It does remind me a little bit of something like, say, Rage.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up on.
It's a good shout, where it's sort of like, it's hyper-stylized apocalypse.
And that's a good thing, like, it's lovely to see that, especially coming from the boring, bland wastes of 76, and not to pick on that game again, as we always tend to do, but...
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has a little bit of character about it, which is always nice. But Far Cry games are always do. I mean, you look at something like Blood Dragon, and that was just so slick, so stylistic.
Beautiful game.
Really, really good looking. And this is, you know, it's on the way there. It's obviously taking the map from 5 and just sort of adding that injection of nuclear personality to it.
Even the Aurora Borealis is just chilling there at this time of year.
You know how it tends to do, just doing its thing. So here's another specialist.
Is she blind?
I believe she's blind. Yes.
It's interesting.
But she's a sniper of some caliber. I don't know.
Makes sense.
So, I mean, you know, it's Far Cry. You take what's going on with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, of course. So that was the mission structures, I'm guessing. Oh, never mind. Let's ignore that and go to this.
Here we go.
This bear doesn't look as radiated as the other one.
Well, you know,
he's got
not all bears
eyes.
radiate the same. Wow. I'm so happy that happened. But look how I hit the bear with an RPG. How is he not toast?
This is when I was editing this footage. This is my favourite part. Like, is he on your team or is he a bad guy?
No, he's on my team.
So,
he's just a general sort of bloke, isn't he?
Yeah. Do not kill innocent civilians.
He was already dead. I was helping him.
You were putting him out of his misery.
I was making sure that his family had a nice body,
a nice toasty body.
Well, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it's zany. You can do that kind of stuff. You can blow a bear up with an RPG, and it will run around setting fire to the forest. So
it's also cool that the bear took fire damage. It was alive when you ran away and you came back and it was dead.
Yeah.
Oh, armpit stab.
Oh god.
Shift at the back of the neck.
I mean, I can't imagine many worse ways to go than being shivved in the armpit and then in the neck.
No, that's got to be up there. Like, I would prefer to just go straight for the neck, but an armpit shiv is not. You're really good at this.
Look, these are... So you can see that the enemies look a little bit different depending on what level they are.
Yes, but you're also not very good at this bit either, which is coming up.
You know what, Tom?
Here we go. Jump of the year.
Tom, look, I needed to get to that door.
4.
That was the quickest
4
way.
out of 10.
If this was the Olympics.
Olympic high diving, you are not very good at.
Well, I never said I was going to be any good at the game. I just went and played it.
Oh, that might annoy a few people.
Yeah.
I cut out a little bit of this because it's just a bit of an underground fight, but...
Yeah, so this mission is sort of going to get one of your blokes back. I believe he's sort of trapped underground by the highwaymen, being tortured, you know, the general spiel.
So how much... Is there actually an underground layer to the map? And obviously there is to an extent, but is it a large-scale structure or is it just underneath certain bases?
I couldn't tell you. From what I've played, it was mostly above ground. This kind of thing.
I mean, this looks fun.
It's an on-rail shooter section.
But everyone loves an on-rail shooter section.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, it's just shooting people on quad bikes. What else do you expect?
Standard.
Yeah. He's not a particularly good driver, if I'm honest. Thomas Rush.
I did notice that, but I love when you shoot some of the NPCs who are on foot. They just kind of pop in the air.
Again, this is. It must be stressed that this is a preview build. I don't think it's the final build. They probably have a little bit left to go on it. But yeah, I mean, they just sort of pop right off there, don't they?
They do, yeah. And also, just to clarify, the cuts, they are my cuts, just to speed things up for time as well, not awkward graphical glitches.
Good. So yeah, I mean, you have your basic. Oh, I don't know.
This is customization now. Yeah. This is that.
So like I say, it doesn't really matter if you choose male or female. I chose the male. You can customize headwear, arms, gloves, you know, body, legs.
Your standard customization
your
features.
Standard RPG customization features, yeah. But it doesn't really matter because it is obviously an FPS game.
I'm guessing you don't appear in cutscenes then too much.
Not that I saw.
No.
Not that I saw. I mean, Far Cry cutscenes tend to be first person anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's very true.
Not that I saw, but
he dresses like you in real life.
Well, you know, I'm one of those people that when they play these games, I like to look as much like me as possible.
With the robot hand.
With the robot hand. Well, no, I think it's a glove.
I mean, it looks very robotic. Like you can see through it in places. I was confused because you do change from a robot hand into a real hand, and that's pretty impressive. Is that a feature that happened to humans after the nuclear explosion?
Could be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I'm so boring when it comes to RPG stuff. Like I just make me, and I know it's like, you know, people don't, and it's an escapism, and fair enough. But yeah, I just make me.
Well, there we go. Just for a second, there was the companions, and now we've got some of the available points.
Well, I think I go back to the companions.
Perks.
So this is your perks stuff. It's what you expect from a Far Cry game. You have things like the glider, and you know, you can repel and have extra, you know, a little bit extra damage, all that kind of stuff.
All the fun exploring things.
All of the stuff that you would expect, you've got it. So I think, yeah, I've got a companion with me now.
Yeah. What is this? Like this?
I don't know. It was just something that I stumbled across. It's, you know, one of those Far Cry things is you'll roam the map and you'll stumble across stuff that's going on.
Well, this is actually the last little bit of the video now, so
okay.
This is actually, I think, where we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Fair enough. But yeah, overall, impressed. Enjoyed what I played.
That's good to hear.
I'm looking forward to, you know, getting my hands on the full the full game. There she goes. Yeah, companions, still pretty dumb.
I mean, I'd expect nothing less.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Tom.
No, I've got to say, I actually loved it as well. This gameplay is right up my alley. I love the graphics. I love the art style is completely me, so I'm on board for it, and probably more so than Far Cry 5 itself.
Great. Good. Well, hopefully we can play a little bit more further down the line.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.